On this podcast, we talk about the books, both old and new, that are worth putting on your to-be-read list. I'll include the back cover synopsis, content warnings, as well as my pro and con list. To avoid any spoilers, head over to my Instagram at enjoylifewithme.angela. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these books. Let's jump in for the day. Today we're going to be talking about Falling in Love with My Chihuahua Shifter by Camilla Evergreen, which is the second book in her series That's Paranormal. Came out middle of February of 2024. The back cover synopsis says, "When my Chihuahua turns into my celebrity crush, it's like a fan fiction came to life." Not my fan fiction, mind you. I could never write that the Dolliver Talon eats dog food, submitting himself to tiny costumes or gnawing on chicken feet under my bed without his millions of fangirls going feral. To put it plainly, self-preservation forbids me from upsetting the 12-year-old masses. It does not, however, forbid me from mingling with a moth prince, a vampire cat, and a grumpy single dad dream eater in a magical world I never could have imagined. Even with the imminent threat of encountering Ollie's alpha hole brothers, I finally found the place I belong. Unfortunately, staying there means giving up everything that makes me human, and no matter how hard I fall for the man who has spent the past year writing me secret love songs, some decisions weigh less than when they're only fan fiction. So this is a single point of view paranormal rom-com. It has the celebrity hidden identity and the touch her and die vibes going. The intimacy is high. Definitely closed door, but the sexual history is mentioned. There's some innuendo, and it fades to black. The bonus content, which you should read, does have Brett shifting naked, because clothes are hard. But it wasn't descriptive or anything. It was definitely still considered closed door in my opinion, and so it wasn't uncomfortable to read, but just so you know, it's there. There was no language. There was lots of he swore kind of, but you'd never get any of the actual words. There was ones where they quote through a middle finger, so not much in that department. Again, the violence is really mild, threats is all. And then as far as potential triggers, the sexual past activity is mentioned. There's some tough childhood times, feelings of inadequacy and neurodivergent differences. There's bad breakup and cheating in the past mentioned as well. And my only con with this book is that it's like a mystery and you don't know all of the pieces, because as much as I Google, because of it being a new genre, I'm like, I don't know what this creature is. This author has her own world, obviously, and you can't Google that. And so that just means that I need more books that take place in this world so I can get more knowledge, because I'm really obsessed with it right now and I love it. But it does make it hard where I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't feel like it really detracts from the story overly much though, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Now, on the pro side, you get to see this fairyland, which is amazing. Like, the system sounds perfect and peaceful and accepting and accommodating, and everything just sounds beautiful. Again, there's also really funny writing. We're off to see the fairy prince because, which when I was reading it, I totally sang the Wizard of Oz song in my head, but no one wants to hear me sing, so there you go. Where she says, "A prince, a vampire, and a fox were hugging on the floor in a royal dining hall." It sounds like the opening of a joke. And then Ollie's productive stress. I mean, who hasn't been there? I think most of us have probably been in that situation. And there's also like the really important reminders where it says, "Words are simple yet powerful, and it's remarkable the things we find ourselves incapable of when we don't try." And then there's just some really beautiful relationships in this book. You get the romantic one with Ollie and Britt, but where they stay and work through the hard things. They talk openly, they forgive. It's stuff like the person who's present makes breathing easier and harder at the same time. And your gift, my responsibility to care for what I have been blessed with, is not something I take lightly. And so there's those beautiful moments, but it's not only just the romantic relationship. There's the one between Britt and her sister. That's just complete trust and love, and it's really awesome to see. And then I couldn't narrow down my favorite part, honestly, so I'm going to give you top 3, was the phrase, "Anxious does not begin to describe what I'm feeling right now." The second one was the not a date, because they weren't just sitting in a restaurant, they were sitting outside under the stars, walking and talking about everything. And those were the dates that were the most special to me when I was dating my husband. And so I love seeing that through other characters, because I think the everything and nothing conversations are kind of when you know. And then the last favorite part that I'm going to mention was Kale's logic at the family dinner when he became the donut buddy. Because it had all the feels, and then Kale flicks Ollie in the head and goes, "Alpha of literal millions, prince of the largest pack in the world, you're making everyone else look bad talking like that." And I just, after all of the confusion and panic feelings, that was just so funny, and it just sat so well. Now here's the thing I am wondering, and maybe someone can answer it for me. How did Pollux get the sandwiches? Because he didn't answer Willow. So there's that. Also, second question, what does the alcohol do for him? I'm curious. I'm going to end with reading the review I put on Goodreads for this book. If you want to see how beautiful relationships can be, this is the book. Nobody's perfect. And if while it's hard and often you need loving support to do it, you can see outside of your negative mental narrative to see the things that are pretty. You're going to giggle and you're going to roll your eyes. This is the perfect mix of cute rom-com and interesting paranormal. This is the second book in the series, and I am a strong believer that series belong together so you can appreciate the characters. So I hope you will jump over to Instagram at enjoylifewithme.angela and share your thoughts about this series, this author, this book specifically. I'd love to talk about these characters. It's just all been so wonderful and definitely obsessed. So